Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Friday, June 27, 2025. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for the last day of the trading week. During the Asian session, we got the data released from the Japan. Job applications ratio is down than expected. Tokyo core CPI is down from 3.6 to 3.1, and the retail sales are down from 3.5 to 2.2%. During the London session, we got the current account data released from the UK. Then we have the CPI data from France, the CPI data from Spain. As you can see, most of them beats the expectations. Then we have some data from the Eurozone. Italian 10-year auction is scheduled for is at 11:10. During the US session, we got the speech from the FOMC member Williams at 1:30. At 2:30, we got the key data releases. Core PCE Price Index is scheduled for release at 2:30, together with the PCE Price Index and the personal spending data from the US. Canadian GDP is scheduled for release at 2:30 as well. Michigan expectations of the inflation, 1 year inflation expectations, 5-year inflation expectations, consumer sentiment and the consumer expectations data all are scheduled for release at 4 o'clock. Atlanta Fed GDP now as usual 3:30, and at the end of the day we got the US Baker Hughes oil recount and total recount scheduled for release at 7 o'clock. At the end of the day, this time at 10:30, we got the Fed back stress test results. Might be quite interesting for all of you who are interested whether the bank are fully stressed with the cash or not. So this is the situation on the economic calendar for today. Without any further ado, let's switch to the charts. We start with euro dollar. 4-hour time frame of the euro dollar is showing us a slight pullback from the highs of the yesterday's highs, located at the level of 1.1745, as the bearish divergence kicks in. This movement to the downside is not enough to fully resolve this divergence. It should be more downside soon. But please remember that this is still the situation when we are trying to complete the wave 5 to the upside, and then bigger correction should be done. So maybe, just maybe, we are waiting for another quite nice movement to the upside, like a spike, and then full reversal. Nevertheless, the divergence is still showing us on the divergence on the RSI, of course, is still showing us the bullish engagement on this last movement to the upside. Nevertheless, it's still the wave 5 of the overall impulsive development, and we should see, and when it's completed, we should see some sort of the downside movement, at least on the 4-hour time frame chart. Obviously, we got some data from the Japan, so let's take a look at the US dollar versus the Japanese yen, and you can see again that there is nothing going on this market. Completely nothing is going on. This week has been very, very poor with the market movement. Since the reversal from 148.03 market with the blue arrow, we got, of course, test of the 100 periods moving average, then the pullback, then breakout below the 100 periods moving average. Now we are testing this 100 periods moving average from below 144.74, and it looks like the market wants to reverse lower again. So the immediate technical support and the low from the yesterday 143.77 will act as the local low, and any breakout below this low might expose this low here for a test 142.81, and then of course our demand zone. Momentum negative, completely negative, pointed to the downside. So the US dollar versus the Japanese yen market is under the bearish pressure after the test of the 100 periods moving average, ready to move lower. Let's take a look at the gold market then. Very interesting situation is going on the gold market after the swing high was established at 3,450. The gold is slightly slightly lower today. You can see that it's already minus 4.76 already. So we are moving lower and lower on this chart as the correction is needed for this market. But we are moving from the all-time high, almost from the from the levels of the all-time high supply zone. Nevertheless, it's still not a valid breakout, as there is technical support which is violated, obviously, 3,309. Then the next target is 3,271 and 3,245. Possibly one of these levels might act as the strong support, and the market will pull back to the upside. If we take into the account the situation on the RSI on the 4-hour time frame chart, we are very, very close to hit the extremely oversold market conditions. Last time we did it, the market went very nicely over $250 to the upside. So please keep an eye on the current situation on the gold. It looks like the bulls, the bears wants to push the market lower, but the bulls might be buying the dip actually. So please keep an eye on this situation. How is the crude oil doing? Are we going lower? No. Apparently not much is going on after the hit of the local trend line from the May 5th has been hit, right? So we hit that trend line. There is a very, very big support, very important support here. We marked already 64.19, and the bounce was very, very shallow, very, very shallow bounce, but up towards the level of 66.41. So this is apparently not that much as we expected. So it's just telling us that this bounce is definitely from the extremely oversold market conditions. Only the RSI went up towards the level of 40, but that's not enough. They need to break above the level of 50. So that means the crude oil should break above the 68.88, where is the 100 periods moving average on a 4-hour time frame chart, and obviously the technical resistance roughly around 69.21. Otherwise, the outlook remains bearish. Just a slight pullback to the upside has been made due to the fact that we went down towards the extremely oversold conditions. But the market is getting ready for a movement to the downside. So any breakout below the technical support, obviously, and any breakout below the trend line support might likely expose this level here, the low from the end of the May 2025, 59.98, basically $60 per barrel of the oil. So we can go even another $4 lower if there is a breakout below those technical levels. And last but not least, obviously, let's talk about the Bitcoin. We broke above the local trend line. Let me just make it a little bit thicker so you can see it. There you go. Blue trend line, big thick trend line is broken. Local high or closely to $109,000. We test this trend line from below, at least with this very, very slow movement to the downside. Momentum went down as well, even towards the level of 55 points. And now the market might be ready to break through the 110,000 or even higher on this 4-hour time frame chart. So that would be a good indication of pretty bullish weekend that is ahead of us. So right now, please keep an eye on the current situation on the Bitcoin, because it looks like the bulls wants to drive the prices higher. Obviously, we got the technical resistance at 108,900, and then obviously roughly around $110,000. So definitely those two levels need to be violated before we will ever think about getting towards the supply zone above it, and extending the new highs even higher. So please remember that if we break here above the supply zone, the Bitcoin will be into the new all-time high territory, right? So that's a very, very important information, which is why we are consolidating so low below the supply zone. This supply zone is still the supply zone made after the all-time high. So it's not like a second top or something like this. No, this is fresh new all-time high, and that's why we are getting very, very interested in this situation on the Bitcoin. On the other hand, any breakout below the technical support 100,000 106,147, or even below the 100 periods moving average, might expose this levels here, 103,000, 100 and 2,000 for a test, and then the momentum would likely break the level of 50 slightly. So that would be the signal that the market is ready for another movement to the upside, before, of course, the bears will kick in, because they will definitely defend this supply zone sooner or later. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. So take care and bye bye.